We're continuing with the conversation here in studio on medical tourism. So, Prem, you were just telling me perhaps we were taking a look at some of the things that we're doing right on the African continent.
Yeah.
Now the things that we're doing wrong that we need to start changing within our health sector.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, getting back to the point where what matters in healthcare is it's not how technologically you're advanced, but how you can transform the technology and the skill set, what the faculty has got, where the patient can afford it. You know, for me also to take up this assignment, it echoes with the vision of our chairman, which says that African patients should be treated in Africa with quality healthcare, which is world class,
yes,
at affordable cost.
Yes,
that's the whole mantra. You know, so I think if the leadership, if the government policies make it in that way. You know, we are in that direction, by the way, because I remember a couple of months back, I was in Rwanda. Then I was talking to one of the doctors, who's a nephrologist. I said, Doc, you know, we have started a kidney transplant program now. We do kidney transplants in Hill. So he said, no, Kenya is very expensive, you know, it's about 2.5 million shillings and all. I said, no, it's not like that, you know, it's about 1.3 to 1.5. We do a kidney transplant package for you. So, and was very happy with that, you know. So what matters is how affordable you can deliver that quality healthcare is what matters. You know, that's the key thing in healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's something that you keep echoing, technology.
Yeah.
As much as technology may not be, like you said, the complete answer, but it plays a certain role in making sure a country is more attractive when it comes to being a medical tourism destination. How has technology played a role in this?
See, what happens is in technology, when I say, when you deliver healthcare for a patient, because whatever we do, let's say at Medihill, is all patient-centric.
Yes.
Right? So whether you add on some certain special skill sets, let's do, if we are planned for a liver transplant. No, liver transplant cannot happen just like that. You know, you need to have a special operating theater for that, or let's say with HEPA filters, laminar airflow, and, you know, separate ICU setup with a critical care team in place, you know, because as much as a surgery matters, post-transplant also, the care also matters equally important.
Right.
Because the patient is very vulnerable, that a lot of infections might catch up. So you need to have a good team. So that's where your technology plays a role, you know. So to deliver the high-end medical care, you need to have technology. So it goes hand in hand, you know. Both the doctors who has got the skill set, at the same time the technology which helps them to deliver a better service to the patient.
Then of course we have the regulations and the policies which are now government influenced.
Exactly. For example, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to add to that, you know, before we forget, for example, let's say if you need to have a PET scan in the country, you know, a lot of regulatory approvals are required, which a government will play a major role in that, you know, in terms of approvals and things like that. Now, having a PET scan will be a game changer in the treatment of oncology.
Right.
Now, because that will define a more comprehensive and more precise treatment for cancer. And trust me, I think we are on the right direction. So that when you have, I think on the continent now you have only two places. One is in Egypt, another is in South Africa. So Kenya will be the third country to have that. And that will give a lot of boost, you know, for the Central and East African countries, for patients, you know, who are going to India. You know, I was sharing with you, let's say, what India, you know, in that 100 billion market, there are players like, let's say, Singapore is there. It's about 3 to 3.5 billion market. Thailand is there. It's about, you know, a 5 billion market. India is a 6 billion market in that 100 billion, right? So in that 6 billion, what India generates, 1 billion comes from Africa alone. So Africa, patients traveling it's phenomenal. It's very huge in numbers. Kenya itself, about, you know, 10,000 patients travel every year to India for their healthcare needs. So that's a huge numbers what you're talking about. So if the things like this, technology which helps, which will actually help the country to grow in terms of not only providing a better healthcare access to the patients, but also for the neighboring countries.
So 6 billion, that's India, from the 100 billion market value. About 10,000 Kenyans go every single year. I'm just hearing all these big numbers, which just plays a big role to show how the medical world plays such a big influence in the economy of a country.
Exactly.
And we downplay that. We don't see how the medical world plays that. All right, so In terms of boost, Prem, perhaps what do we as Kenya need to do to make sure that we are a more attractive destination for medical tourism?
I think by and large, we are doing most of the things right, but added a few more things. Let's say good things. Let's talk about things that have gone right, what went right. As I've told you, we shared with you, but Kenya is a tourist destination, which is globally very popular for wildlife safaris and things like that. But what people don't know is the people are very hospitable here. The lovely climate. People don't know about all these things. Unfortunately, the perception which the outside world has got about not Kenya but Africa in general, we always keep seeing this. I don't know, why things have gone right that way. Like desert, wilderness, kind of picture which has been portrayed, but people don't know how beautiful this continent is. So, what becomes important is when you have a better infrastructure like what we have in Kenya to deliver healthcare. You have best of the infrastructure here, best of the medical faculty, and very good hospitals.
Right.
It's along with the government, it's the private healthcare providers like Mediheal, which is driving this segment of medical tourism, which are a few others also in the country. Now, what becomes more important is if you look at it's looking at other countries and learning things. For example, you see what Singapore is doing, what India is doing, in healthcare. As you just mentioned, that you cannot undermine the kind of revenue it can generate. First of all, it will save your own economy, in sense the dollars are not being siphoned off, and at the same time it brings additional revenues into the country, which is another stream for revenue.
All right.
For example, if you look at Singapore,
let me cut you short because we need to take a commercial break. We need to sort of digest all of this. Let's take a commercial break. This is Weekend Express. We'll come back and talk more about it with Prem Kogol. So do not touch or change this channel. We'll be right back.